Familia, is your favorite Puerto Rican Brooklyn Philly here, and I wanted to just jump on here and just see what messages wanted to come out. I kind of wanted to leave it real free flowing. I didn't channel any specific messages. I'm going to be honest, the energy has been very heavy for me lately. Heavy in the sense that I've been doing a lot of could be classified as shadow work, purging. This Pisces full moon, along with this lunar eclipse, along with this upcoming solar eclipse, all of this planetary action that we're having between Neptune and Uranus and Venus and Mars and all. I mean, everything. And now we're jumping back into some retrogrades. When I tell you, I don't know, I just heard Vivian Green, emotional roller coaster, that I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to come out here. I'm going to pull out what I call a bochinchera deck. It's just a deck of index cards that I kind of, I don't know. I don't know why I want to say ragamuff, but there is a specific word, right? When we kind of do it on our own. I don't know, the term came and then it slipped. But la bochinchera means the one that gossips, Miss Benita from In Living Color. I'm reminded, the one, but you ain't hear from me because I'm not the one that gossip. I guess other readers would say the tea. I don't know. I just heard, but I'm sophisticated though. I don't know what's up with that. Sophisticated, right? So I'm just gonna, without further ado, just gonna jump in here and see, what comes out. Let's go. What messages? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to my ancestors and my guides for everything, right? What messages would you have for the collective? Today is Monday, September 23rd. What messages would you have? Right away. We have, what do we have here? Seen and not heard. Why? So maybe that's the energy some people are on. Some people, maybe some of you have been feeling, or that's what this, feeling seen and not heard, right? And I just heard Martin Lawrence sitting in the middle of the boulevard when he said in his Run Tell That, right? Where he said he was sitting in the middle of the boulevard, butt naked, yelling. I don't know why that came. At the same time, I thought of someone standing in the middle of a boulevard, the boulevard being representative like of a real busy main highway or intersection, screaming to the top of their lungs and no one's hearing them, right? They can see them, they're driving by them and no one is hearing them. Now I'm hearing, it's the middle of the night, someone is being attacked. All the neighbors when questioned. It was some story, some case study we were studying in one of my psychology or sociology class freshman year. Wow, I went way back. And that was one of those case studies we studied where everyone heard the crime, and then when they were questioned by the cops, people were intimidated, or some thought, well, somebody else would call it in or handle it. Some didn't wanted to mind their business. New York City blackout, 1977, 0707. The number 7, yeah, my nose is itching. There's something about the number 7. Something about, I'm hearing now, this being the year of judgment. I meant to say judgment, but justice came out. Injustice, avenged. I'm hearing the word retribution. And then, of course, I have here Kingston, Jamaica, Marcus Garvey. So there's something about Judgment Day, something about justice, something about some injustices. Yes, my nose is itching. The ancestors are definitely in the house. They keep lying on you, all right? They keep lying on you. I don't know who they are. Spirit will reveal it, but it's whoever these unjust individuals or these instances that have been unjust, whether you have been lied on, where you have been seen and not heard, where you have been questioning as to why. Maybe why with some people, maybe I'm hearing for some is close lovers, for some is family members, for some is people you thought that were your best friends that should have had your back. That's the injustice, and that's what's being avenged. Something again about this being the year of judgment. I got that message early on back in January of 2024. Really clear, indicating that this would be the year of running receipts, like run them receipts, run them up. It's time to pay back. Just go, VRBO, Airbnb, hotel. For some, you are being told you need a break, you need to just go. And again, I ain't in nobody's pockets. Please use your judgment, of course. But for some, it's really saying some of you really need to get away. You really need to maybe get away from these individuals, maybe just get a space. My dog is really crying over a ball or something that's under the sofa. He just started that the minute I clicked on it. Go lay down on the video. Again, prior to that, he was pretty good. Pele goddess, for fire of creation, sibling rivalry. Interesting. So maybe for some of you, the Pele goddess, look her up. I believe she's in Hawaii or something like that. She's a mythological goddess that was, and someone just got mad that I said that she was mythological. I just heard I'm realer than real. Fire of creation. So something being created in the fire, something was created out of in the fire of this injustice, in the fire of this being lied on, in the fire of this needing to leave and rest and taking. I don't know. Now I'm hearing something happen at an Airbnb, at a hotel, at a Verbo. And it's coming out. There's going to be some justice. Stuff that might have been seen, right? So now I'm thinking about things like what happened to the Olympic stars, Olympic athletes. Basically, a lot of injustices like, again, you know, I have to say trigger warning for those who, but about like molestation and maybe even abuse that was seen, but not heard, where people refuse. Remember earlier I just said something about like in the neighborhood saying they didn't want to get involved. So where people who refused to in the past get involved. Okay, this message is deep. So this is really big. Stuff is, I'm hearing if we thought stuff has come out already about like the Epsteins and the Diddies and all this other stuff, we ain't seen that. You know, that has been the tip of the iceberg. More stuff is getting released, revealed, accounted for. The parable of the sower, parable in the Bible, different grounds, weeds, pruning, caring, optimum, and growth. The minute I read the parable of the sower, I'm thinking you will reap what you sow, right? Because, and then think about that. Usually when you sow something, it takes time for it to show into fruition, right? So people have thought, and now I'm hearing the Quran, meaning the holy text of my Islamic brothers and sisters, where it indicates where it is referred to that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do you think that just because you don't get, and I think that's in the Surah Al-Ankabut, you know, people think that because I'm hearing retribution, because the consequence for their action doesn't happen right away, that they escaped it, that no one saw them, you know what I mean? Or no one knew, but God knew, divine knew, your ancestors knew, somebody knew, and because it was not heard of yet, that doesn't mean it wasn't going to be revealed. Now it is going to be revealed. Yeah. It says touche. You know, whoever this is, they saying touche, right? Talk about it. I'm hearing grab this other pile. So it's clear. It's clear some type of injustice. Look at this. Oh my God. I know. You ain't the trigger you say you is. And that's usually the N word, but I put trigger, to kind of just be more mindful of how I'm using that word and how it is used. But that's a song. That's that rap song where he talking about, basically kind of like the song where Beanie C was saying your handshake ain't matching your smile. Right? It's like this, yeah, like it's going to be known that, whoever was out here frauding, whoever was out here doing things they ain't had no business doing to people they ain't had no business doing it to, because I'm hearing it's something about the innocent or people that didn't deserve it. It's going to be revealed, right? The fact that people's false identities, false masks, you ain't the person you say you is. It's going to be revealed. I know. What's this? This says perimenopause, mythical superhuman, about peri, evil then good, meno, men myth, fix, genie, pause, temporary stop, fat boy, fall boy. I don't know. This one got me. About, equal, peri, evil then good, meno, myth, meno, month, fixed, genie, pause, equal, temp, stop. All I could keep hearing is evil then good, evil then good. It's like, and then when I read mental myth, it's like it's a myth. It's something fixed. It's something that was temporary, but now it's going to be stopped. And perimenopause in a woman, even though it's not speaking of the woman, it says mythical superhuman. Mythical, right? And the Pele goddess got said, something about you think is myth or something. And perimenopause is like the symptoms you get prior to going into menopause, prior to something actually stopping, right? The menses of a woman. So this is maybe like the pre. What else, Spirit? What else? So empathy should be taught in two parts. One, how to understand that you still do not deserve what they are doing. Two, put yourself in their shoes. So basically, empathy, earlier I was hearing there's a difference between empathy and codependence, right? And something sick about, and then radical acts of self-love. Because earlier I was hearing that there's a difference between empathy and codependency, and how sometimes, particularly in tarot land and YouTube land and all these other like social medias, we get those confused. We say, oh, well, I'm an empath. Well, are you? And again, that's not coming at anybody, but we should all be checking ourselves, right? Is it really that we are these empaths? And I'm not saying that it's either got to be one or the other, but how much is it that we're an empath, and how much is it that, maybe you have an issue with codependency, right? Where you kind of are used to being in codependent relationships where you are getting something from, and is not so healthy, from picking individuals or involving yourself with, whether it's a friend or a lover, with individuals who are not the healthiest for you, right? And then you're seeing it as you're being an empath, or now I'm hearing you're seeing it as it being a twin flame or something like that, right? As opposed to really looking at what are real radical acts of self-love, right? And what that really would look like, right? And radical, that's a big word, right? Radical. Look at this, reading up on you, trying to dig up dirt, doing the research. And I'm burping, I just burped on that, so confirmation. There's something about that. There's something, trying to do the research. You an adult when you okay with doing you and being with the people you choose. White Boy Blaze is this boy, my son Job named White Boy Blaze, and then this is his quote, so I'm giving credit to him. right, about it. You know you an adult when you okay with doing you and being with people you choose, right? So again, yeah, it's about like this radical self acts of self-love where you're choosing who you want to be around you, right? Not these people who are unjust and are acting like they one way but they really not, and the whole time they like your frenemy, right? Doing trying to dig up dirt on you, trying to, and you know, for some it's not that extreme, like, you know, but some I'm hearing, yeah, it's through social media, digging through accounts, digging through things, but some right in your face, straight up to my face, right? Frenemies where they're trying to, they want you to share the information with them because then they want to use that. I heard they want to weaponize it against you later on, right? Avatar, an incarnate divine teacher, soul that has been freed from delusion and is sent by the will of God back into the manifested existence to help others. For some of you, again, I'm not saying be the Lulu, but yeah, and I think I would dare say we all are, right? We're these individuals who come here to do these great works, whether we get caught up in this high or low vibrational stuff for an array of reasons, right? And experiences, but some of them know, they sense that, or they see you as this avatar. That's why they're trying to dig up stuff and trying to, trying to stop you from, you know, doing these radical acts of self-love, trying to dig up dirt on you, trying to, yeah, they can see this aura about you. They can sense this spirit about you, and that's what is triggering them. That's what has got them in their bag, right? Or, you know, and I'm hearing for some of them, they don't even realize, it's like subconscious or unconscious. They don't even understand or even realize why they come in or why you trigger them so bad, right? In a negative way, right? It's like your light bothers them or something. And it says your ancestors called it magic and you call it science. Where I come from is all one and the same. Thor, Marvel, right? It's interesting because earlier Pele, with all respect, sister, got mad talking about something. What you mean is myth, right? Because we are conditioned to think a lot of this stuff is just mythological. Then you have the camp that say it's all science. And, you know, this quote basically saying, man, call it what you want. It's all in the same to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's almost kind of like some sarcastic humor I'm hearing. And saying this one and then switch to the next. Pick another block of cards. I just got chill. My whole left side. Just, I don't know, like a sense of vibration just came through it. My dog is not letting up on this article that he wants under the sofa. And this is the last one from this. Oh wow, it's split. No, not unity, entity, I, one love, right? Yeah, and again, I think it goes back to this quote about you call it science, another people call it myth. Where I come is all one. It's like this oneness. Split it the way you want to split it. I don't know, Ursula versus King Triton, dethroned, Queen of Atlantis, of Atlantica, woman scorned, angry black woman, yet I'm the villain, right? Yeah, something about the story that, you know, it depends on how you tell the narrative, right? How is the story being told, right? Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man by Emmanuel Aiko. That's a book, and it's something that he did. Yeah, a book that he wrote, right? Like, yeah, it's, again, this is the year of judgment. This is the year of running receipts. This is the year of having these uncomfortable conversations. This is the year of really looking like, is like Ursula, you know, this villain, or, you know, was it that she was the one on the throne and King Triton came and with his masculinity pushed her off and dethroned her, right? Like, it's time to, yeah, it's time to, remember digging up dirt, it's time to uncover. Oh, I know you ain't the person you say. It's time for truths to be let out. Remember they said they want the last bucket right here. So it's time for telling the truth, right? For telling the truth, for truth to be unveiled. No longer tolerating lies. He really wants this boy. Go lay down, BK. Go lay down. There's something he wants under this sofa. Let me get it for him. I'm such a punk. I feel bad that, he wants to play with something. And it is something that I'm not getting him. What is it, big boy? What is it? Tell me. Which one? What is it? What you see? I can't see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. It was a ball. The problem is it could roll back under there. And if it roll back under there, he's going to want me to get it again. I don't know. That's what it is. But yeah, so it's time for, I'm hearing eternal truths, universal truths. Yeah, what's this? Supervisor secretly harassing you will be exposed. So again, right? Anybody. And supervisor, I'm hearing, yes, it could be for some of you, many of you. I'm hearing it's at your job physically, but it's bigger than that. It's like whoever the powers that be that call themselves supervising and controlling shit, and even secretly harassing you behind your back and doing, whoever feels like they have the authority or have been utilizing that power for such fuckery, I'm hearing, they're going to be, again, I'm not making this up. All year long, I've been hearing this is the year of running receipts, the year of judgment, and it's coming out for everybody. And I just got chills all again, particularly those who have been abusive of their power, who have caused great injustices against children, against weak, the elderly, like against anybody who couldn't really defend themselves and really didn't deserve such buffoonery, I'm hearing, and fuckery. Marilyn, just give people a reason to believe again. So this is a card to myself. It was an affirmation to myself. So there's something about, and the reason for this, or one of the reasons, is to give people a chance to believe again, to believe in some type of goodness, to believe that there is something. I'm hearing the scales of justice really do mean something. I'm thinking of a card in the Voodoo Tarot where it's Buzzard, Mr. Buzzard, and he's outside the courthouse, and the woman of the scales is holding the two scales, and he's using it as an ashtray. He's a black man proclaiming back then in those times, right? Saying, justice for who, right? This some BS. Justice has been rendered for those who have money, for those who have powers, for those who have the means, but rarely for those who really need it, right? Look at this. Interesting. Battle Hymn of the Republic. If you know, you know. Union versus Confederate, the American Civil War. In the dusk hours, the poem came, Battle Hymn of the Republic, right? It's a whole lot to unpack there. I'm not doing it right now, but it's very interesting. I just used Justice for Who, used Mr. Buzzard, from that Voodoo Tarot. You can look it up on Google. They definitely bring it back up where he's kind of indicating, I don't depend on that type of courtroom justice. The justice that I'm talking about here comes from my ancestors, comes from a higher power, comes from a divinity. Because I am very clear that the justice system here is not scaled. Now I'm seeing Mississippi Burn in that movie. Where he gives his closing remarks, and then he says the little girl was tortured, burnt, cans, all kinds of, and now imagine she was white, right? There's this something about, I'm opening your eyes again. I'm seeing, things are going to come out for what they are. Papa Breath Mint, get a bang out of life. That's from Martin Lawrence. So there's something about that. Then I don't know, it's some season of Lent, 40-day season of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, giving to the poor. I think that it was significant for me to read that because I'm going back to my March reading that I did, where that's where it was revealed to me that in the month of March of 2024, whether people realized it or not, it was a month where it was packed for the first time with all of these religious holy holidays in one at once. So we had Ramadan for Islam, we had several Jewish holidays, we had Lent season for Christianity, we had something in the Asian community, something in the Buddhist. I mean, it was just an array of of holy rituals and holidays and that are significant in and of themselves within the religions, but they were all combined and overlapping and intertwining with one another. And it was back then where I was hearing judgment. Something is, I heard let justice roll down, right? That's Amos, I think. Shoot, waiting to exhale, look into your soul, and you're halfway there. So people have been waiting to exhale. The time is here. Streets, pedestrians, hood, urban, suburb, traffic, sidewalks, crosswalks, peeps. I don't know. Yeah, we out here in these streets. Like, it's just, it's getting exposed at all levels, right? Whether you in the hood, urban, suburbs, you know what I mean? Sidewalks, crosswalks, pedestrians, peeps. I don't know. It's something about it. Yeah, I'm all of a sudden, I'm excited. Remember what's at stake, period, right? Like, for people to remember what's at stake is bigger. I'm hearing that than us, than it is so much bigger. Now I'm hearing bigger by Beyonce. That song Beyonce. Interesting. I bring up Beyonce. There's something I've not necessarily, and my son thinks that I haven't picked up on anything on Beyonce because I'm a fan. Now I just heard he a fan. Freaky ass nigga. He's a 69 god. Freaky ass. Yeah, run for your life. And that may be true. I might have bias there. I mean, I'm human. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? But all year I've been hearing there's something about Jay-Z that's gonna come out. I don't know. And it started in particular for me. It was about him and Beanie Siegel. Something about an injustice with that went back then, from the Damon Dash and them days with all of that. What happened with Beanie and all that. Yeah, look. Vivo a mi manera. I live by my way. Now I'm hearing Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. Coming to America. Semi versus Eddie. People pleasing wife. Right? Yeah, there's something about this duality. The reason why I wrote this card is because Semi had no problem. He was like, what the F you mean you don't want a people-pleasing wife? That's exactly what I want. Eddie was like, nah, I don't want a people-pleasing wife. I want a wife that has a mind of her own intellect, her own, I don't want somebody that is just doing it because that's what I like. What do you like? Whatever you like. Bark like a dog. Yeah, it's something about no mas, not that mentality being no good. Like, we're not creating that anymore. It's time to put an end to that, right? And it's interesting we use people pleasing wife, and we talked about Ursula earlier about I don't know, I feel like they wanted me to see this card. It's safe and healthy to expand and grow, Marilyn. Tell your subconscious it needs to hear this truth. So for many of you, you need to hear that basically whatever is going to come out, these revelations, not to be afraid, to understand that this is part of becoming healthy and growing, and to understand that it's okay, right? And tell your subconscious that, right? Because a lot of this toxicity and stuff is ingrained at a subconscious level, has been part of our survival mode, and now it's going back to revisit it and talk to it and say, nah, it's cool, we good, this is the way we need to operate moving forward. Giving someone the space to heal, grieve, and grow is a love language, right? Whereas, again, before, I don't know, like, based on the way we were living, the way this society has been structured, it doesn't allow for that. I heard it just wants to numb, cover, right? Because, how can it be... How can you heal if you're still living in the trauma? How can you heal if you're keeping secrets and things are being, covered and lied and everything? There's no growth there. I don't know. I got a whole lot of stuff. $1 out of 15 cents. And then people are surviving, right? Not thriving. They're just learning how to survive. Because they are not allowed to heal and grow, because everything is being kept like a lie or falsity, it makes you, have to make $1 out of 15 cents, always struggling, right? Then, look, code switching. I mean, if you don't know, look it up. Code switching. Is it a superpower? A nah. Is it a cloak of invincibility? A diversity? Is dominant culture? So yeah, that's deep, man. Right? And a lot of people have to learn to do that. Code switch daily, every day, on a daily. Yeah, my nose is itching. I don't know. I just heard Marcus Garvey again, but I also heard something else. This is my granddaughter. She drew this, Samora Rose. That's her first her name. Not her last name, her first and middle name. But why is that significant? I don't know. But she drew this, and I don't know. I kept it because I don't know. This person looks wonky, distorted, like not all the way there. Something ain't right again. I just heard freaky ass nigga. He is 69. God, run for again. There's something about molestation, perversion, taking advantage of youth, of the young, of the innocent. Something with that is going to be revealed. Myths can be understood by the soul without the need to intellectualize them. Or is it both? Right? Right? Can they be both? Right? Again, Pele got mad when I called it myth. There is a whole thing, what is myth? You know what I'm saying? Is it lessons, right? Can we learn from them? Do we have to intellectualize them? Do we shun them? So there's something about that. I don't know. It's almost saying like, oh, you think I ain't real? I don't know. It's something real goon, real gangster. I'm too much. Greatest fear, too much for my mom, my dad, the world. Unlovable, not enough. Fear and love, core feelings. Too perceptive, too inquisitive, too capable. Too exact qualities that actually should be celebrated, right? So again, this duality, right? On the one hand, they're telling you, nah, you too much, right? You too much for your mom. You was too much for your dad. You too much for this world. You too much for these lovers, which then made you feel unlovable, made you feel not enough, that had you in these core feelings of fear and love. But no, how about what if it was the whole time you was too perceptive, too inquisitive, too capable, too exact, and these were actually qualities that should have been celebrated, but because they were being distributed or revealed to individuals who were full of fear and projections themselves, they couldn't handle it. So it triggered them. Yeah, once again, many of you are avatars. You're the bridges between the spirit world and the natural world. And a lot of people ain't happy about that. Well, this world ain't about to be happy about that with all this judgment. Yeah, now I'm hearing there is this bridge actually happening now astrologically between the spirit world and this earthly realm, right? I just heard that Thor comment again. You called it science, you called it myth. The people called it myth, the others called it science, but we just said it was all one. It's like this connected. We are going into fall, where some would say is the thinning of the veil, right? There's something there. I learned it from watching you. It's cool when you do it, but when I reflect it back, it's a problem. Mirror, right? Yeah, that's basically me being sarcastic, right? When I wrote that, I was saying that people like to do, like to throw stones and hide their hands, or they like to throw shit at you. But the minute you mirror their behavior back to them, now is all of a sudden is a problem. That now all of a sudden is going to be a problem when all of this injustice and everything is on earth, right? Because it was okay when people were taking advantage of these children, of these people, of the weaker, of the less fortunate, and doing all that. But now when the tables are going to be turned, and it's not so much that the tables are being turned, it's retribution, it's a judgment, it's recompense, it's running receipts. So it's basically it's sowing. The parable of the sower is sowing is reaping what you sown. But now all of a sudden you gonna feel some type of way about it, right? Because now it's happening to you, right? How easy it is for you to do effery stuff to other people and to mistreat other people. Now I'm thinking of that scene. Why I watched it today too. I was cracking up. But Coming to America, where Lisa's father was treating Semi and Eddie like crap, when he thought they were just like these African exchange students that he could just boss around. You know, remember, there were parts in the movie he was like, Semi, come here, pour the drink. All right, go away, go away. Oh, no, you parked the car. Oh, yeah, they ain't coming back here because you my African connection. But then he got real mad when the king came in and he said, I will not apologize. He is beneath me. His daughter is beneath me. When he turned around and used that same arrogant attitude that he just had on Semi and Hakeem, he ain't had no problem having it towards them, but then got an attitude when somebody treated his daughter and him that way. It's something about that, right? Interesting. Anything else? We half an hour in. Yeah, I want to pull some tarot or something else, or maybe not. What else? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. They not playing. They're saying this is part of the journey, right? The fact that, yeah, that we all, you know, sooner or later, now I'm hearing that scene in Martin where, you know, the plumber came to fix the toilet and then he passed out and they thought he died because they couldn't get a pulse or anything, but he really had, I forget what that condition is, and they had a little funeral for him or whatever. But one of his main things was he was saying to Martin, you know, you either pay now or you pay later, but the bottom line, you're going to have to pay. People don't, and I'm hearing the Quran again, people think, is a surah in the Quran where it says they think because they get away with it, that this not going to ever catch up to them, that it's never going, they're never going to be held accountable for it, but it always comes. Now I'm thinking of the story I heard another like individual share that I related to, and they were talking about their first time they ever cut classes, play hooky from school, cut school. And they said the very first time, every car they saw that was their mom or their dad, every parent. But then by the third time, they was walking around bold, wasn't even scared no more until they got caught. That it gets like that, right? That's what happens with this sense of entitlement, or with getting away with abuse of power and something that you think, because I got away with it a couple of times, that it's just going to be continued, but sooner or later you got to pay the piper, I heard. And I'm hearing, is your glass half full, empty, or half full? Is your glass half empty or half full? Asked the mole. I think I'm grateful to have a glass, said the boy. Amen, amen, and ashe. That's from the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And I'm thinking this is the best way to close, because that's what I heard is happening. That at the end of all of this is going to teach people, instead of asking, you know, because we typically say, you know, we have this one, it's a lot of duality, right? This one camp that say, well, I see the glass half full and I see the glass half empty. Well, maybe we need to get back to a time where, how about I'm grateful to have a glass, because not everybody even has a glass, right? And on that note, yes, I want to thank my ancestors, my spirit guides, divinity. This was the message. This is what is coming out. Running receipts, judgment. I just heard, don't be fooled. God is not mocked. I'm going to leave it at that. You can say you believe or you don't believe, but this is the message that is coming out. I am cutting this, although I wanted to pull some tarot and kind of get a little deeper and dig as to maybe some examples, but I got to make a run. And yes, I love you. Pay attention, keep your eyes open, and if you know you ain't got nothing to worry about, then, and for those who do, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. Until next time, beloved, I love you. Ashe, amen, and I mean. Mwah.